Okay, so what we're doing today, Joyce, is we're doing a complete overview on your business plan. Now, your business plan is not something from here to 6 months. It's more like here to 5 years and where you want to be positioned. So these questions, you don't have to be articulate when you answer them. You can speak in gibberish if you like, because I will interpret for you. And as you know, I tend to be a little bit of a master on AI. So as long as I have the right questions and I have the right mastery to be able to kind of like interpret what you say, even if it doesn't make sense, or even help you to know what the answer is, it doesn't matter, because it's all going to, that's the whole magic of what we're going to do. So are you ready to fire away for the first question?
Yes.
All righty. So what I would like to do is, you may need to pause a little just to have a think about this, but I want you to think about your vision in terms of your coaching business and, you know, quantum leap 5 years from now. So if you were to kind of wake up tomorrow, I'm just going to explain this really easily for you to assist you to answer. And you were able to kind of like know in your mind, this is how much money I make every year, because I've been doing this for 5 years now, since I made the business plan. This is the service that I am offering. And this is where I am in my life and what my offerings actually look like. Now, we're going to dig deep into those questions. So just to kick off, the first question is, if you could catapult 5 years from now, what would be the overarching vision for your coaching business? And, you know, tell me about what that would be like. Okay.
Right, so yeah, right away it's like, well, I wrote down 250,000 a year, but I'm like, well, that's 5 years from now, so probably more, but let's start at 250. Yeah. In 5 years. I've impacted 5,000 women. I have written 3 books. I am a speaker internationally and nationally.
How many books was it? 3 books?
3, yeah.
Yep.
I'm a speaker nationally and internationally on big stages.
Very good. All right, I'm about to ask you the next question. I feel like that's really quite comprehensive. Is there anything more before I move on?
Like just, I guess the business structure, you know, I'm still have one-on-one private coaching clients, you know, high ticket VIP kind of level, white glove, one-on-one coaching clients. I have group coaching programs. Oh, and I have automated programs, coaching programs. I also have a team of coaches. I haven't added that one in yet. That one's like, oh yes, of course I have a team of coaches and support, you know, like a support team for all of my tech and everything.
Beautiful. I love that. I feel that.
And 2 retreats a year.
Beautiful. Okay, that's great, because we'll probably have to repeat some of this stuff. You'll probably find yourself repeating, and that's okay. I'll just work through the questions. So, all right. So the next question is, now everybody that is successful in business will have a motto or a mission statement. And it might be something, I believe that everybody on this planet Earth deserves to have a voice, making a stand and know their zone of genius. So, for example, I really believe that every single person does deserve to have a voice and, you know, really claim their power and own their zone of genius. And they don't have to be coaches, healers, and leaders. A person here in Perth who's very iconic in just a car dealership. And he's been around for as long as going back to when I was a teenager. His motto is, you know, integrity and creating the best service for a win-win for both the customer and, you know, I can't remember, but his mission statement's up on his wall, and it's really demonstrating that it's a win-win for all parties concerned, and, you know, a lot to do with his integrity. But if you were to think about your mission statement, you know, what would it be? And this would come from what drives your business.
Women deserve to be valued for their contribution and empowered as leaders, knowing that they're the masters of their destiny.
Oh, I love that. That's so, so good. Just for those who are listening, we are conserving time for value system, and if you do get to hear this, so we are giving space here for the person to consider it, so don't feel too complex if you think, oh my gosh, I can't answer that fast. Okay, so here's the next question. Within the business plan realm, how do you see your business evolving in the next year? So this will be kind of like more based on the evolution being what you do. Some of your, you know, active processes, say, for example, masterclasses, little low ticket programs, masterclasses into high ticket programs, retreats, etc., might be something else completely different. It could be, you know, having someone in place to actually help you to become seen in the space so that you can get some speaking engagements. But I'm not sure if that's the first year plan or the second year, and it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to get you to answer that question. How do you see your business evolving over the next year?
Yeah, yeah, I've been working on this all year. I have a very solid masterclass that is the beginning of my funnel to bring people into my circle so that they get to know me and what my message is, and to start trusting me as someone that can get results for them. So, you know, having a masterclass to provide content and value for people. And then that feeds into my signature program. That is, for now, it'll be like, I'll be guiding it, and I definitely want to turn it into an evergreen, and then do another signature program and turn that into an evergreen. So that's the idea. So probably finish up the year with doing like actually guiding people through the signature program for a few runs till I really get comfortable with it. And then, you know, starting the new year as an evergreen, or at least creating my signature show to become an evergreen.
I want to say something on that, because this is very, very important. One of the things that we discussed in our onboarding session was what the retreat and what your, you know, call to action was going to look like, you know, where we looked at who your client was, what you would say to them, and a lot about what your offering was about, right? You remember that. So when we were talking in terms of, you know, this is these are all your things that obviously came from you. And then these are the things that you can then go out into the world and start talking about, because it doesn't matter about how much you know about it or how much you've been around for it, you know, for that fact, in the platform of the online space, you begin to become the authority as you put yourself out there and you start saying the same things over and over again. And sometimes, and most of the time, you'll find that you might say part of that, you know, the statement that you've come to know about your dream clients and your, you know, your offering and what you actually do. And then you might come up with another piece of it and another piece of it. So this is the part, and then you might flip it and you might mix it all up, but you're still kind of bringing the same message to the forum, right? And then, of course, that seemed like, wow, that, I mean, it all came from you. Nothing comes from me. I'm just very good at extracting information, right? And that's why it's really important that I believe in my clients. So once we'd actually worked that out and we'd done that, I noticed you said something which is very common amongst nearly probably most people. And that is, but I haven't got my program together yet. And this is what I want to make a statement with, and I stand by it, I own it. Not everybody's going to agree with it, and I'm totally okay with that. But your greatest way to move forward is actually what I've just heard you say, and I'm just going to bring it into some conscious competency. You do not need to prepare your whole program. What you do is you prepare little programs, and then you bring them in and you bring them together so that they're done live. And even the masterclasses, like if you look at some of the masterclasses I've got in my portal, they're not even in my website, they are powerful masterclasses, right? So you bring them all in and you put the best of them in it. So you're not, you know, some people believe that they've got to spend days, months setting up their program. So what you've just said here, and I just want to point it out to you, is exactly what I'm just saying. You would be doing your masterclass, bringing people into your portal so that they obviously get to like, know, and trust you. And then you're creating that service, and then that's going in and becoming an evergreen. So it's building, 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 and building until you've got so much content, you've got a gazillion different resources that you do need to share it with the world. So well done. I really felt
actually, the signature program, I do have an outline for it. And I was, you know, like I had that mindset that I have to build it all out and then I'll offer it. And it's like, no, I have the outline. All I need to do is just build the first module of 4 and, or not even build it, but like, you know, like have the outline and then run it a few times. I was even thinking as you were talking that my master class could actually be like a test run for the first module, to like, okay, what do people want? And then maybe run that like every couple weeks. Run it every couple of weeks. And then now I'm like, okay, I have a clear understanding of this section of my signature program. This is what they really want, rather than, you know, going through all 4 modules as a beta test. It's like, I'll just use my master classes to get the content. And then like the next month, I'll run 2 master classes for the second module, and then see where people are at and what they need, and, you know, and keep doing that. And then I could finish off the year having tested each module at a time.
Yes, to see which one really gelled. And, you know,
with my combination, like, well, maybe I need to put this here or this here, you know, and what do people need in this section of the process?
And I absolutely love that. And as far as you setting up your modules, so let's say you create 4 modules. So for myself, for example, being the founder of the Master Key program, so I've got 5 modules, say, predominantly health and body, relationships, self-love and prosperity, zone of genius, and legacy. So I would have those laid out, and then I would run it one at a time. And so it's good to have this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to create this without it being too big, because what we're doing today is going to be very big. So because you'll have that big vision, you'll feel more confident about doing the little things. And what I've come to know is the devil is, in fact, in the detail. So yeah, I'm so, it doesn't surprise me that you're just catching on to this like boom, boom, boom. So we're going to talk about finance now. So what is you did mention 250K. So your desired annual income, say, for the next year. So let's be realistic here. You talked about 250K, say, by 5 years and possibly more. What about the coming 12 months? So that's between today and August next year.
Yeah, I've been more focused on just finishing off the year and rather than because I just tend to work in the calendar years. But if it was like a year from now, definitely if it was like 12 months from now, I would want 120K.
Yep. Okay. So that's your answer. Okay. That's good. It's just going with that without actually thinking too much on that question. So the next one is, what are the income goals thereafter? So let's just say that's 12 months from now. What about, say, the year after, and then the year after? So you're envisaging around 20,000 per month being how much per year?
Well, maybe not in year 2. Like I'll go halfway between doubling it. So go to 180 for the second year.
Yep.
And then the third year would be 240. And then the year 4 would be 300.
Mm-hmm.
And then like year 5 would be like 360. So like 60,000 every year, but that's keeping it conservative because again, like if I'm having that kind of growth that I'm expecting, I'll be well into like, the 7 figures by then, by 5 years.
Mm-hmm. So now, do you believe this is a little bit of a sort of an intricate question here, and it may take a little bit of time to consider this because a lot of it comes down to what works best for each coach individually or business person individually. So the question really is, do you feel like the majority of the income is going to come from high ticket clients, mid-ticket clients, or maybe subscription clients, people that just want to be in your space and they can't afford the huge stuff, but they are consistent and they're there all the time? But do you feel that the majority of that income, in your thoughts and your best understanding, is going to come from high ticket clients, mid ticket, or low ticket? Now, it's incredible how you have got so many values the same as mine. So the question coming back to, where do you think the majority of your clients are going to come from out of low, mid, and high? What's your answer?
Yeah, there's what I think, but then there's what I know that a lot of people are doing, and is that from the low ticket, because it's, first of all, it's quicker and easier for me to create several low ticket offers, whether that's a book or a little giveaway or a little course, a post that I can turn into something quick. And then I have this huge pool of people that I'm priming. And then when they're ready, then I can, like, funnel them down into more group coaching or an automated coaching standalone program, and then even like upsell them into a VIP of working with me more so or closer. So there's like those options are there, but mainly everyone is starting in the big pool, in the big kiddie pool, or well, yeah, no, in the big kid pool.
Yeah, believe it or not, that is your own desires and thoughts, and it doesn't apply to everyone. There's a lot of coaches out there, the ones I was telling you about before we came on this call, that only offer these huge ones, and then they kind of go vice versa. They work from the top down, and a lot of them do that. But when you work from the top down, what I would suggest in doing that is speak from the top, be at the top, talk about your offering at the top, and then be prepared to exactly what you just said, because that's what is that suits what your DNA is saying, that's going to be realistic. Bring them in on this level and then funnel them through into the high ticket. So I really love that. I think that's amazing. So, okay.
So I have a question about that. I don't know if you want to stop the recording or leave
No,
that.
that's okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like if I get 2 high paying clients a month at even 2,500, so that's 2 clients. I do a quick breakthrough with them, which doesn't take hardly any time at all. And now I've made $5,000 in the month with only having 2 clients. The thing is getting those 2 high ticket clients, which a lot of coaches say start there because you only need 2. Like, and what you were saying is talk to those people so that everyone knows, like everyone else knows, it's like they're not qualifying.
Yeah.
Do you do a master class to get those people, or is it just the messaging? Like, do I do master classes to get those people?
Definitely full-on launches to get those, which can cause in some people, it can cause a lot of stress and anxiety, especially if they think they have to do it a lot. And so I feel that your nervous system and the way that you listen to your own body is going to be far more successful than oh my gosh, I've got this, big launch that's going to happen, because people pick up on your energy. And, so some people, they're divine at doing that. And I feel that, look, don't hesitate in, if someone is been watching you, because I've had a lot of people do this. They've been watching me for years. We've got someone in our portal now. There's a couple of people that were watching me for 3 years. And then suddenly they just showed up, and then they jumped straight into a big program, and that's just how it is. But they'd already kind of developed their like, know, and trust from watching me a lot. But in my experience, honestly, if people go out there and they offer a masterclass for a high ticket program and they pull people in that don't know them from a bar of soap, usually, in my honest, and I'm not saying it's a fact, but in my honest thoughts of what I've seen, those people often quite want to either, number one, pull out, or they just they don't succeed as much as someone who's just done already a bit of work with them. Like, even if it is, the work like you and I did, a podcast where there's that rapport that's developed, where there's that, I know what this person's going to be like. I know what to expect. I understand their ethic. But when you go in on a high ticket program to someone you don't even know from a bar of soap, but they were very good at pulling people into their masterclass, I really don't see it being as solid myself. See, I believe one of my gifts that I've got is longevity. A lot of the people, a lot of my clients, there's a lot of longevity there. And even if they wander off, they come back again. So it's really up to you, but I love that answer. I think I totally agree with everything. So we're going to move now to the next question, which I feel that this is going to be really interesting.
Well, sorry, I have one more thing about that. So I do have like a master class that I've built out that funnels into my coaching program. You know, I need to revise it, whatnot, with your eyes on it. So I would like to keep pursuing that and speaking to people who want the breakthroughs, you know, because that's where I want to be, is like getting people breakthroughs. And then I have fun doing the smaller things on the side, like doing these little courses or these little guides or books or whatnot. So that's sort of like, I'll get an idea and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to throw together a self-love guide. And, you know, it's kind of for me to do on a weekend, but the master class is really where I like doing, like, because I enjoy doing the deeper work with people and getting that transformation fast. And then, but, you know, I can then nurture the cold audience with the small things to keep that, you know, automated little freebie stuff going out there.
I love that. And I just want to clarify here what you've just said, because it's very, very important as well. And that is that what you're saying with your breakthroughs, and they do attract a higher ticket client. Yes, I mean, I'm working with about 5 at the moment, and that means they're not even in my portal. They are hiring me for a breakthrough, and that's all. They're not doing a program with me, and that's the difference. So I totally get that. So what you're saying is, and this would need to be noted in your copy and your website especially, right? That while you sell programs and you've got high ticket, medium ticket, low ticket programs, this is kind of like almost a branch on its own where you're offering breakthroughs to people that may come and see you either in person or on the phone or on a Zoom. Does that make sense? Does that seem like what you meant as well? Because that's exactly what I'm doing. And I don't clarify that as a, you know, part of whether I'm going to make my first 5 million from high, mid or low ticket clients. That branch of people is almost all on its own. But it still obviously contributes.
Yeah, because it's the one-on-one. It's more the it's the one-on-one. It's the more the white glove approach for people because it's specific to the one thing that they want to work on. As we already know, like, you know, you don't work on a bunch of things in someone's life. You work on the one specific thing with a breakthrough, and that's how it gets to be so permanent and quick.
Yes. I'm just going to make a note of that. Very good. Okay. So this is I love this question. I wrote these questions actually very, very close to before meeting with you. But this is something that's very gloriously on my heart. And I know it's got a big thing to do with what we're going to be doing together as a collaboration. But this for you, for now and going forward, how many retreats do you plan to run per year? And this is by the 5-year mark.
All right, so having 2 week-long retreats outside of the country. So one could be in Europe and then one somewhere like tropical in one of the islands or Costa Rica or somewhere like that. So those would be 2 1-week longs and then 2 3 days. And, you know, I'm living in Texas, so I'm thinking in the summertime, I'm going north. I'll go north somewhere for that 3-day weekend. And then in the winter, you know, I really like Arizona. Like, you know, I hear so much about Sedona. So I think, you know, doing a 3-day in Sedona would be really sweet.
Nice. I love that. That's so cool. All right. Now, drum roll. What is going to be the big focus on your retreats, because this is going to be really reflecting on your transformation you're offering, or, you know, whether there's business strategy involved. So, you know, for me, for example, I had one that's transformational, and then I have one and I call it celebrity. And celebrity is more like people like yourself who are already very well seasoned coaches, healers, and leaders, and they're really getting to understand what their branding and transformation is overseas or in other places as such. So coming back to that question, what will be the focus of your retreats?
So my retreats would focus on transforming the image that women have of themselves, because it's usually like an old version of who they've been. And in order to create this next thing that they desire, they have to create this new version or vision of themselves and what's possible. So it's like really leveling up their identity and what's possible for them. And then doing that, and how they do that is through like loving who they are, owning their potential, acknowledging that they have a creative way of seeing how to do something different, and to really honor that about themselves. And then doing that in a place where like they're really loving all the parts of themselves just as they are right now, having taken everything that they've learned, all their experiences, all of their memories, whatever, like, and having learned from that, and take all of that to create a new beginning, not to pull the past into the future, but to actually create a new beginning where they are empowered from having all of this wisdom that they gained, surrounded by this loving, supportive community who believe in them, can see this brilliance within them.
I love that. Now, I did have a question on that. Oh, yes, that's what it is. Who are these women? Like, if you were to, you know, it doesn't go for everyone, but can you describe one woman, like, especially someone you really love working with? Like, what is her situation? E.g., she's stuck in the corporate world, or she's in limbo, or she's in, you know, the emptiness syndrome, and she's wondering about her life. Can you tell me about this woman, predominantly what situation she's currently in?
Yeah, she's a middle-aged woman of means, having lived, you know, a very comfortable lifestyle, yet feels very empty and unhappy and unfulfilled. And she's either about to end her relationship, or she has, and now she's looking for like what's this next thing that she's going to create from this freedom that she has, this space available for her to expand.
Okay, I think we've just found a really big gold nugget, so I have to pull this one straight up. Let me tell you, if you went out there and started speaking on the fact that you are that authority coach, and you are, who is ready to help women transition when they have either just broken up from a relationship, or they're thinking about it and they're in transition and there's a lot of fear, and they require to know what it's going to take and who they are and what's going to be the next level for them so that they can move forward. That is going to be one heck of a niche. That is a very, very specific and strong niche. And I would suggest the sooner you start talking on that, the better. So I'm glad you grabbed that, and I'm going to move now. Do you want to say anything first before I move to the next question?
No, I actually, earlier today, I voiced pretty much that. And they were just like, everyone was just like, if people could have their mouths hanging open as I was saying it, they were like, oh my gosh, like, that's it. Like that's your thing. And it's the thing I've been avoiding, which is so interesting because, you know, I've been somewhat avoiding the divorced woman
Mm.
niche for some reason, but
We
it
discussed that at
was my
the
own
beginning.
stuff
I thought,
that was there, and I told you about
yes,
that.
I know you did not. Look, that's the first thing that's going to be conquered here, because if that is illuminated to be what it is, which I suspected it was, but it's never my right to impose that. But it was a download that I got. I thought, oh, that's going to come out, and it's going to come out sooner than later. So I'm very pleased it's come out now, because it's only the second session.
And that's part of the thing, with like just what I was saying, like these fears and whatnot. It's like, okay, I'm finally ready to address these women and help them not, well, it's kind of safer just to work with women who want to transition from a job to their own thing. That's safer, but it's also boring kind of to talk
It's
about empty nesters. I was telling you
not
about that, but the
hard.
divorced people, it's like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I definitely can relate to them. I have training in that on multiple levels. Like, it's like I've been so prepared for it, but that's the one that I kind of just, no.
And
Yeah,
just
but
a
it's like a
disclaimer,
yes.
yeah, on a disclaimer, you'll have a lot of people run away from you, but they say that if you talk to everyone, you're talking to no one. So while all the wrong people will run away, all the right people will come closer, and you'll be able to help them faster. You'll actually be able to really, especially in your masterclass, that's going to be an absolute bomb. So I'm excited. So I'm going to go on to the next question now, because there's kind of two different elements of the retreats that you've talked about. One is kind of overseas, or in Costa Rica or somewhere exotic, and the other is more local to where you are. What is the cost or pricing that you're thinking of about these two styles of retreats? So I'm glad you said that. This one's an easier one for you to answer, because I thought it was hard. So what will be some of the marketing strategies to your marketing style that you're going to put into place for these retreats?
I really feel that any marketing that can be done where people actually see me and hear me is the most powerful. So doing, Facebook Lives, doing, any kind of interviews with people, even in the copy, like if I have a funnel or a landing page, that it has like just a 1 or 2 minute video of myself introducing what it is I'm offering, like what's out there. So yeah, there's a written copy, but anytime that somebody can actually hear my voice, the inflection in my voice, see the expression on my face, see my enthusiasm, that I love what I'm doing, and I'm all here for them. I think that's really the most powerful to do video anytime. And then of course, doing going on Facebook and Instagram with reels, very well,
Yes.
the usual carousels and whatnot, but again, just putting my face out there. So even if something is an automated program, they still see that I'm a human being behind it, that I've created it, and a lot of my passion has gone into it.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's really great. Now, I did have a question around that one. Okay, so would it be fair to say that online would be sort of like a priority for you? So it would be more online, and would that also, because I know you said emails to me before, so I take it that that's what you meant as well, that you would send emails as a part of your strategy. Is that right?
Yeah, like have the different touch points, whether, the social media for going live, have the newsletters and emails go out for people that prefer that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually signed up for a few programs on it as a result of an email. You know, but it usually the person's got quite a lot of credibility, which has come from social media. So would it be fair to say that social media is kind of like the primary point of where you would market?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are on social media more than emails, and that could be myself. I just, I glance at my emails, and it's unless I'm looking, and I could be looking for something specific, or if it's my business email, of course, like what's coming in, what do I need to pay attention to? And then I have sort of my junk email that I find, like whatever I sign up for, any of the courses or anything, it's like, here, I'll give you this email because it'll just, I may look at it every couple of days, but I get 50 emails in there a day, and it's mostly just promoting, people's programs. And,
Yeah,
just
I
that's what
totally
people do.
get
They
that.
email every day or even multiple times a day. So
Yeah,
I don't
you need to
bother.
really filter, really
Yeah.
filter.
So like even like, yeah, I don't really see doing like 3 emails a day. It's like, yeah, you're in front of people, but I'd rather just like, oh, like I've been following Joyce and there's an email from Joyce. It's like, but Joyce doesn't
Yes.
email very often. So when she does, there's actually something that is worthwhile.
Yeah, no,
Otherwise,
I
it's
like
just like
that.
everyone else. It's like, nah, I'm really not going to miss a whole lot if if I don't look at their emails for a
Yeah, it's
week.
like watching Days of Our Lives, you could skip it for 2 years and then still catch up and know where you're at when you're there. No,
I keep
totally
the
get
emails
that.
short because people are reading them. So I think, anything written, to keep it very short to the point. And I saw this strategy actually, somebody else use. It's an NLP person. He'll have a topic he's talking about, and it won't be very long. It's just a very easy read. And he said, if you want to know more, click here, and then you can see the longer version of it or the continuation of it. But you get enough information in that first bit, and it's great because now, like, you kind of want to know what it is, so they click off of it, so that it helps with the algorithms and everything. So I thought, oh,
Yes.
that's brilliant. Like, because
And where
because
do you
people
see
just write
that?
these long.
Is that on social media or email that you've come across that?
It's in his email, because so many times people will write lengthy emails. And
Yeah.
I'll take a look at it, and I'll really just skim it, and I'll be like, okay, no, I don't need to know the details. But this is
Mm,
like, like one short paragraph. It's like big font, spaced, like 1.5 spaces. So it's like it's spread out, and it's like
easy to
basically,
read.
yeah, if you want to read, if you want to keep reading, then click the link. And of course, it's just, you've already got
I love that. And take big notice of this. And, a lot of
yeah.
people might be out there going, oh, I don't want to do that because I don't want to copycat that person. That's wrong. Everybody learns from somewhere. We all learn, we go to school, we read books, we do things. We have to put it into action, and we only know what we know because of what we've learned. So when you see someone that's doing that and that really appeals to you, that means that that's what you've got to do, and actually put it out there. See, some people want to read big, long, lengthy stuff forever and ever. And, if that's not you, the chances are it's not going to be your clients either. So I would really take up on that, and even apply it as a strategy to your social media, where you might say something really powerful, especially like, are you on the verge of feeling like you want to make the big break from your relationship, but you don't know what to do, and you're stuck in this situation and blah, 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 blah. If you want to know more, click. Just saying, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. It's like, oh my gosh, that's me. Of course I want to know more. It's like, hey, I've got 3 tips for you, but you don't list the tips right there. It's like, no, head over to this other thing, and here's my 3 tips.
absolutely. So good. Here we go. So yeah, as I say, it is the most important question, being that, for anyone who is ready to embark on their big vision and they want to make it happen, and they really have come this far to have all the right questions asked to them. And then the big $64 million question is, what would be the most likely thing to hold you back and cause you disruption? Now, you said first up, it's with the clients, but we know that this is not to do with your clients. It's to do with what you're doing and this is what is very important for everyone to know. So your answer, Joyce, is?
Yeah, the thing that's holding me back right now is that I've spread myself too thin with things that I've taken on, collaborations with other people, like trainings coming up, a certification coming up that I'm co-hosting, the NLP training that I'm collaborating with someone on. And, those are fine because they're out in the future, but there's things to fill them. So that's requiring my attention and for me to promote them, as well as, looking to get people as clients in my community through my yoga classes and my Thai bodywork classes. So nowhere in there is really time that I haven't put any time into promoting my work, my specific work, my specific messaging, because I'm promoting all these other things. And so
these Thai classes and things like that, is that in person or how does that go?
Yeah, the Thai bodywork is in person. And then the other things that I do with that is the energy work and the embodiment work, the NLP coaching. All those things can be done virtually, and they actually become part of my breakthrough program as well. So, and I might even like task somebody with doing yoga, or I might, hey, let's do a yoga class together to really get in their body. So I do incorporate those things into my programs and whatnot. But right now they're just standalone to get clients in those areas to generate revenue. I just figured it would be a little easier to get clients that way, but it really isn't, because I don't have like a strong presence in either of those areas because I've been coaching.
You spread too thin. And like I said to you before, if you speak to everyone, you'll speak to no one. And there is a magical way, and this is why, you are working alongside of me so you can come to know this. But there is a way where somewhere along the track, and I'm not saying what it's going to be and what it's not going to be, but there's going to come a point when something just suddenly goes clunk and moves into place. Some things fall away, and interestingly enough, a lot of the things that you may have got going for you actually become part of the whole focus. But the difference is that, working with me, one of the things we're going to do is know how you can create this in a way that you're not over here, over there, and all over the place, trying to do so much that you're not doing anything. So what we're about to do is we're going to go for a break, and we're going to come back and we're going to do a summary of your business plan. How does that sound?
All right, great.
All right, so with the business plan, firstly, we've come up with the vision is to build a thriving coaching business that empowers women to value their contributions, master their destinies, and become leaders in their own lives. Now, this is specifically aimed at women who are looking to transition from their current relationships, or they've already left and they're really looking for that next level in their lives and that next step. Now, of course, in order for you to be able to generate a really powerful and juicy service, you've got to make money. Otherwise, you can't serve people, right? So you will generate by the year 2028 around roughly between 250 and 300K. And by that stage, you will have served 5,000 women with the 3 books and, you know, being able to stand on the stage, and you will get a copy of all this, by the way, too. Your mission statement: women need to be valued for their contributions and empowered as leaders and to be the masters of their own destiny. Your core focus in prioritization is to achieve, in order to achieve your goals, it's crucial to streamline your focus. This is where you have to listen very carefully. You don't have to pay attention and do it, but we're highly suggesting that you would give it your greatest consideration. The key is to prioritize activities that directly contribute to your financial and impacting goals. So that means that you weigh up what is the most important thing, and you do need to support yourself with the financial side, because you can't be of good to anyone without that. So they're the two big things you've got to really work on over, you know, now and the next time we meet, because those goals that you decide are the most important, only you can decide on your own actions. But when you align it to your mission, you will find that that's when you're going to become really successful and unstoppable. You'll be really focused. And the beauty of it is too, that you have so much leverage, so much space, you know, space, and therefore you can be a better coach as well. So your signature program develops and is refined around a signature programming, making this the cornerstone of your business, right? So that's got to be primarily what is at the center. And the program will feed into other offerings that will be a pipeline. And obviously, these are some of the things. So your retreats, and hosting these, as you say, for 2 retreats per year, and focusing on the transformation, identity and empowerment, and with the focus of really reaching out to those women who need to go to the next level and transition from relationship to relationship, or find themselves once they have, right? So your high ticket clients will be cultivated from 101, which is one-on-one clients like you and myself, through personalized coaching, and as well as the group program, so that you would actually put them into the same sort of situation as what you've got with me. So you're duplicating in your own way without even realizing it. So your books and your speaking engagements will come around. And what I would suggest for that myself is that as you go, create little, you know, with all the little posts that you create, maybe if you do emails, all of that will begin to formulate into your book. So do you use AI?
I do.
Okay, so what I would suggest that you do is you know how on the left side of AI, you've got all the different topics? So I would like you to begin by saying, right, on this week, I'm going to focus on this, and it may be for your first masterclass. So it might be how to create your new identity after leaving a relationship. I'm just saying, right? Or, you know your identity, you know, and become your own person as you are looking to transition. So they've got that rock solid inner core belief value about themselves. And then put down all the things that are very important for you in AI. And believe you me, I wouldn't be sharing this stuff publicly. However, you would put all the things like, what does it mean to you? What's important? What do you want to give these women? And ask AI to formulate that and roll that out for you as what will be fantastic. Now, the good part about this is where everything becomes easy and seamless, is that as you do this, you might come across week 2 and go, oh, I actually want to focus on the woman's rituals and their routines to help them become that woman, right? And then you begin to use AI on that chapter, and you speak about it, and you put those things and let AI construct it and help construct it for you. And then week 3, you might come along and then go, well, actually, you know what? I might want to really help that woman to be guided into knowing what her zone of genius is and her soul purpose and why she was put on this earth. And then you do all of that, right? So now you've got 4 weeks. Now wait for it. You then go back, copy and paste everything that has come from your mastermind and what you've got, and then put it into another chat with AI and say, AI, write me a workbook with questions for my client for my upcoming masterclass. Boom. And they will detail you out your workbook. And then that is what you're going to give for your people. So that comes from me. I'm telling you that from my own, because that's, as I've told you before, it's just a natural superpower that I've cottoned onto recently, that myself and AI just have this very strong affinity. Now, your business structure and revenue streams. So your high ticket program being your signature program, being the backbone of your business, to convert this into evergreen model with automated coaching programs. So you already understand how you're going to do master classes, right? And those master classes then roll into your programs, so people can come into the programs, and everything that you videotape becomes part of the portal for your evergreen. So your retreats, so you're pricing your week-long retreats at around $24.97 and your 3-day at $12.97, and running about 3 retreats per year. And low ticket programs, books, online courses, your financial goals, year 1, 120K, year 2, 180K, year 3, 240K, year 4, 300, and 60K by year 5. So the team and support that you're going to require, you're going to need some virtual assistants. You're going to need someone that can help you with your social media marketing to manage your funnels, campaigns, and content creation. You're going to need some technical support to ensure you have a reliable, functioning platform, and possibly to collaborate with the right coaches as your business grows, and add additional people with that as well. Now, your operation of your systems, and I don't expect you to take all this in now, this is just so you've got this business plan going forward, is your automation and systems. So your CRM system, which is your customer relationship management, to keep track of clients, leads, and communications. So a lot of this will be done by your team. Your automation tools like Active Campaign, Kajabi, which I know you're utilizing, to automate and help with your emailing sequences and things like this. A project manager. Now, I will help you in the details, like, for example, what's the first thing I need, Terry? Well, I'm probably going to say to you a lead generation assistant who actually gets your client right. And I believe you me, I'm very fastidious, as I said that. But at this level, when you start developing yourself, like let's just say you went into a business and you were purchasing a business, you know that businesses are not free to buy. But people have got this strange idea in the online space that they come in and they just do everything and everything's free. And then they wonder why nothing works, right? And in actual fact, no business is free. If you are planning on creating a real business, and, you know, I hope this falls into the right hands here, you're going to have to look at putting systems into place, just like you would any other business. So, you know, I'm not saying go out and spend $100,000 on your business now, but you can do it slowly and you can do it with the right person by your side so that it is in order, in the right order, because it's about doing a combination of the right things in the right order and even knowing what to do, because a lot of people don't know, right? So this is where this becomes.
I have some good systems in place now. I use Go High Level, and which is like similar to Kajabi and other ones. And I have a few. Well, I have like I've created some programs, and those are all automated with funnels. I just did a whole Facebook Live funnel with email sequences. And then also my masterclass has a funnel for that. And I have part of a funnel built out for my signature program already.
That is so very good. So with your masterclass, let's just talk about that for a moment. What is your masterclass?
How to turn your thing into a thriving business.
Okay. How to turn your thing into a thriving business. Okay. Now tell me about the funnel and how that works. So for example, what have you set up? What have you done? What's in place so that it is already that funnel?
Yeah, there's the funnel is the landing pages, you know, the landing page with the pop-up to capture their email information. And, you know, and all the links for that. And then once they register for it, then the email automation takes place, like, you know, thanking them for registering. Here's going to be the link, and then all the reminder emails. And then after the master class, then there's afterwards is like, here's the replay. So the whole system is set up.
So it's already set up. And I take it that you do the masterclass live?
I do, yeah.
Beautiful.
For now.
Yeah. And what is the strategy in order to get that out to the world?
I promote it on social media and through email.
Nice.
Like I write a newsletter.
Yes.
And well, ideally start promoting it 2 weeks ahead.
Yeah.
And then so like promote it 2 weeks ahead, do the master class, wait a week, then promote it again for another 2 weeks, do it, wait a week. So it's in like, and continue that for the rest of the year. And that way, I've done the master class once. I want to revise it a fair bit for first of all, for the messaging now that I feel more aligned with than when I created it. So, but I do like the outline of it. It's too long. So there's, you know, there's lots of revisions to be done to it. And I'm actually glad I waited till this point. Not that I wanted to, but, you know, it's because I was like, I got to get back to that. But, you know, having the clarity now of where I'm going, I really feel solid in how I'm going to change it and how that'll look.
Yes. So do you still feel that it's the part spreading yourself thin that could hold you back here?
The part that's where I'm spread thin?
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, okay, you know, it's like, it's time blocking probably would help me rather than just working on one thing all day. It's, you like work on something in the morning, then work on some other things in the afternoon. And part of that would be like my social media strategy, reaching out to people, connecting, responding, you know, that's like an hour in the morning, and then work on certain specific projects or promoting things. Because I could spend a fair bit of time during the day just responding to people and not really getting any work done.
Now, that's the next thing I want to bring to the attention here. And that is that, you know, I mentioned about how so many people, and I'm not specifically talking to you here when I say this, but I'm talking to coaches who are really struggling out there and what the typical situation is. So the first one being that a lot of them come into the online space expecting that it's a free way to set up a business, and then they wonder why it doesn't work. So when they are prepared to outlay, and even, you know, having the right people to support is a great thing. The next part is relative to what you have just said. And, you know, what did you just say, by the way? Well, what was it that you were really, I guess it was like with regards to the distraction about spreading yourself too thin. You really need to bring that in. You're going to have to make some really big sacrifices about what you're going to let go of and what's going to be around, because otherwise you're not going to be able to put these things into place. So that's going to be a really important piece. Now, with regards to your personal development, this is the biggest thing that I'm going to suggest to you. And this is something that I suffered from and a lot of coaches suffered from. Because we are in our own business, quite often we think that it's our free day. We can just do whatever we want. So we kind of go, oh yeah, maybe I'll do a reel, maybe I'll work on my website, maybe I'll do a post, or maybe I won't. That does not work. Imagine if you had a boss and they said, oh, just come into work whenever you want. I reckon every single person would make up an excuse why they don't have to go to work, especially if it was a Monday morning, you know, or why they didn't come in on that day or that time. It doesn't work like that either. Human beings don't function like this. You know, the biggest element of being able to create a proper self-coaching business, or any business for that fact online, is you have to have rituals, schedules, and pockets of the day that you put things into. So I could tell you, for example, every day that I work outside publicly, so that, in other words, I have allocated these days to showing up. Now, that showing up might be a live stream, it might be a podcast, it may be a reel or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Then there's other days, very strictly, I'm not necessarily showing up in public. Suddenly she disappears. Where am I? I'm working on the business. And I don't mean all day either. I mean in pockets of the day. But if people don't have a routine set up for their business and specific days and allocations of time, then all the excuses run over the success. So that is the biggest piece of, and I'm not saying that that's what you do, Joyce, but that's what a lot of coaches do. And it's easy to do. I did it as well. That's why I thought, coming into the online space, this is going to be a breeze. I'll be able to get up in my pajamas. I'll be able to show up with a top on and a pajama pants underneath. Nobody will know. And I'll be able to show up whenever I want and whatever day I want. It has to be like, you have to sit down and write it out. And that, by the way, is also going to help you to streamline a lot of the things that are spreading you thin. So that's what personal development does say. Also delegation and being able to say no. So in terms of what you require to avoid that spreading yourself thin, get clarity of purpose, have an accountability partner like myself, and really be able to learn how to delegate, schedule your life so that everything is, so you can say no to people. I'm sorry, I'm not available at that time. But you're very intentional and very mission orientated. And that's what creates really big success.
Yeah, it's like a lot of well, a lot of discipline and boundaries. Like I find sometimes people will call me in the middle of the day and want to catch up, and it's like, no, I'll talk to you at night or on the weekends because I'm focused on my business. Or I'll I find I'm spending a lot of time on social media, like following up with this person, and that, okay, this person has friended me. Okay, I'll friend them back, and then I'll start a conversation with them. But then all they're really doing is starting the conversation is all about getting me as a client. So I'm like, okay, I stopped trying, like they're not my client.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
find
yeah. So I don't even, I just no, I'm not, I don't need it. And rather than keep a conversation going or finding out if they can be my client, it's like, nah, it's just not my client. My clients will be, I'll find my clients through my messaging, not through these other people that are friending me. It's great because my friends go up.
Yeah, look, that's good, but yeah, it's about you taking control,
Yeah,
and you're
it's like the
probably
amount of
going to
time.
annoy a lot of people along the way, because I know I do that. And if you're not annoying people, then you know that you're not quite there yet, making a big impact. But I mean, even annoying your friends and your family, like they get annoyed with me because like, no, I've got this to do, or I'm very focused on what I'm doing, and they sometimes they can't understand it, or I'm involved in quite a lot of stuff. I'm even involved in a network company, which I never ever wanted to be in, but I believe in the actual product that I'm taking. And it took me, like my friend says, she makes a joke, it took me 40 years to get Terry convinced about coming into networking, and then it was a specific brand when I said yes. But I don't let that take my focus away. And I get called by corporate all the time. Oh, will you come to this meeting? No, thank you. I'm a coach. And what I do, just so that anyone that needs to hear like what I do here, is that I have my own strategy. I do not want to attend a meeting where you're going to teach me how to, make a product or do a yoga class or whatever it is. Because what I do is I'm doing my coaching, and that is something that I have within my coaching. So there's a few people that have just ordered the product within our membership, for example, not because I pushed it onto them, but because there was that opportunity that arose. And this is what I want to see happening for you, like as all these things evolve. So I'm not saying to throw away, the things that you do, like the Thai body and all that kind of jazz. But I can see how you can bring it in. But there may be elements that you do have to kind of throw away, or reserve and preserve your time. But it's going to take a little while. You don't want to just let people down and stand them up straight away, but maybe talk to them. And they do highly suggest that when you are, especially if you are on a multi-million campaign where you are going to make it very big, you have to tell the people around you and just say, this is what I'm doing. I'm business building at the moment. So things are going to change, soon. And so please don't feel like I'm ignoring you, or I've got lesser feelings for you. I'm business building. And when you tell people that, they start to understand. Some of them won't accept it. That just comes with the territory. And that's the choice we make too.
They're not going to be, they're not paying me in the moment that they're taking an hour of my time so that I could be having a client that I could be coaching and bringing in some revenue. And yeah, it's I'm even thinking like, hey, have a plan. I do have a plan for social media in the morning, and I have this cube. It's a nice little cube to time it. I put my little cube on for 30 minutes, and it's like when the 30 minutes is up, I get off social media. Like that's like, okay, searching for new people to like or follow and responding to people's posts. Like it's just, I get 30 minutes and that's it. And then I move on to my next task. So
Yeah.
like just having that structure, like you're saying, what I call it time blocking the things that I'm doing, and then have what is my priority today? Like this absolutely has to get done first, or within this time frame. And then the other things, it's like, okay, I'm going to work on this, but not, instead of giving myself a whole day to work on it, it's like, okay, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get it done in an hour or 2 hours. Go. And then nothing else gets done. Like, don't even check messages, don't do anything for those 2 hours until it's done. And that way I'm more productive, because I'm not, oh, who's messaged me? Who's messaged me? Oh yeah. And I did try this one time. I tried, it was very effective actually, because as I'm doing work, I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted to call that person. And then instead of like, well, I'll do it right now because I'm thinking about it. It's like, no, I'm going to write it down. And then I had like a list of all the things that I thought about that I needed to do. It's like, I'll do them after. I'll set my timer again for 30 minutes and I'll start working through that list. And then when the 30 minutes is up, I'm going on to my next big task, like my big chunk of time.
That's beautiful.
So that is very good. But it's like implementing them again.
Yeah, no, I love that. That is so, so good. So it's kind of like all coming in a bit of a full circle, and I'm really trusting that, you know, a lot of the things you already know are going to come into real kind of fruition and make a whole lot more sense just by coming into this kind of clarity with all these questions, and being able to get clear about what is important for you and giving you that conviction of, well, I actually need to do this now. So that's what this is all about. If I can get you to that level of going, I do need to do this now, in whichever area that we've been working on, we've struck gold just there. But I want to get through this last piece very quickly because I've got to get ready to go to radio in a moment. So here's your revenue breakdown. High ticket clients, signature program, we suggest that you would have a price per client $5,000, goal 25 clients per year for your first year. That is going to attain you this. This is just an idea and a process strategy.
Okay, so what are those numbers attached to? I'm not following.
Okay, so you're, okay, just to say it in my own way, 25 clients per year at $5,000. Is
that the
high ticket program?
Okay, all right, that's why I'm okay.
Yeah, I'll give you a copy. I'm going to give you a copy of this, so it's all good. Revenue will come to 125,000 on that. With your retreats, 2 per year. Price per participant, which you've already stated, being $24.97. Goal, if you can look at getting 15 participants per retreat. So if you can work on that. Now, if the numbers are too high, what you can do, look, I had 17 clients in my first retreat ever in Bali. 17, just saying. And I ran that with Dr. Ian Messenger. I had my daughters with me and I had the Balinese, so it was all good, but we had 17 people. And I tell you what, we created a lot of millionaires out of that retreat, mostly men, but it was a very successful retreat. So it is doable, even on your first one. So that's what we're suggesting, 15. But if not, we would consider you then doubling the price and giving a little bit of a higher service. And remember, you can't double your price unless you're giving, this is my ethics, unless you are giving a higher service so that they know they're really getting that good quality. So that kind of is that strategy. If you follow along that lines, you're looking at around about 75,000 for your retreats. Now, your 3-day retreats, you're looking at 15 participants again at the price that you mentioned of $12.97. So you're looking at each retreat will probably bring in 20,000 at a time. So total retreat for that is $113,820. So this is just giving you, this is what I have to do. I have to work on 15 people. I have to work on this. I have to work on that. Rather than just being like, I don't know how I'm going to make that. but this is all creating it for you, right? Your low ticket program, suggestion only, remember, Joyce. You can fiddle around with all the numbers and the prices and everything and adjust them and align them as you go. Your low ticket programs, price per sale, say, let's just say $100. They could be a little bit less, they could be a little bit more. If you can look at around about, so at that, you're looking at about 500 sales per year if you're going to bring in a revenue of $50,000 per year. Now, your total revenue for your high ticket, mid ticket, and low ticket is as follows. So, client breakdown, number of clients needed, 25 clients per year, monthly goal, 2 to 3 clients per month. That sounds a lot easier, doesn't it? 2 to 3 clients per month. Retreat participants, week-long retreats, number of participants, as we said, 15. So for both of those retreats, you're looking at 30. Or, as I said, maybe offer a higher level service and bring it down so that they're smaller numbers, whatever feels better in your nervous system. Low ticket program, you've got number of sales being 500. That sounds quite an extraordinary amount, but you and I both know that you can raise the price, drop the numbers, and, you know, because that one does seem like, if anything, that's a little bit tougher. So we'll have to play around with that because I don't feel that it's very realistic. I wouldn't want to achieve that myself. I wouldn't want to be chasing after that one. So there's things that I would tweak with you as we go, which we can chat in WhatsApp on that. Your system, you've got a lot of those systems in place. Your lead generation is going to be the first thing I'm going to really ask you to focus on, because you're spending a lot of time, which, you know, God bless you for it, where you're speaking to people in the chats, you're doing all those things, and you're, you know, and that's the stuff you want to kind of start moving away from, because that time can be you creating content. So yes, it's true. 9 times out of 10, my virtual assistant is speaking in my voice for me. Okay, so social media and content marketing, eventually when you're ready, this can start being repurposed, and so that consistent posts and everything can be rolled out. As you move to a masterclass around the retreat, which is what we're focusing on together, I will be giving you a layout of all the social media stuff. And I'm going to leave it up to you with what you do, like with the stuff you've got already happening. And you might streamline it and scale it, hopefully anyway, if that makes sense, and bring it all. So your conversion, you know, eventually you'll get to calendar setters where these people will schedule discovery calls with you. And that is calendar setters, I would wait until further on down the track. And develop, and that they will have a very, very good script that's very close to your own wording, etc. You've got an automated sales funnel set up, so that's all kind of happening for you. Now, onboarding system, you'll need an onboarding system. You'll need your retreat planning, which was what we're going to do together. So that's something we're working together on. That's next month. So next month, we'll also be able to decipher what dates we're going to do then. So that's going to be really, and by next month also, a lot of this is all going to land, but you do need a couple of weeks to integrate all this because there's a lot of information here.
Yeah, I'll be on the other side of the NLP training as well, come to September.
That's
which is big. Yeah, there was one thing I wanted to add in my in the things that I'm going to offer is over between now and 5 years, I'm definitely going to have like a coaching training.
Oh yeah.
To have like I'll have the NLP trainings, but I'm actually going to create a coach's training of my own that incorporates a lot of the different things that I use to make it like more of a holistic, with all the usual coaching material, like coaching concepts, but I'm going to implement some very specific things that I find helpful.
Beautiful. And when you do these, and as you are going along, even when you get into your really high league programs, you'll be able to share, you know, like really share quite personally and up close with those people that have earned your place in being up close with you. And you can even do things like, you know, the stuff you're doing with Thai body and all that extra stuff you can bring into your high ticket program. But that's what I'm going to really suggest and encourage you to do, to start bringing that stuff out and bringing it in here. Bring that stuff out and bringing it in here. So that rather than you being scattered, spreading yourself thin, you know, honor your integrity by all means, so you're not letting anyone down, but aim towards remember doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of I call it my healing space. I have it on Thursdays, and, you know, I figure I can do a number of things in that space. It's the body work. I can do yoga. I can coach people. I can see clients. It's my place to see clients. And right now I'm just trying to fill it with the bodywork clients and the yoga clients. And as you're just saying that, it's like, could like work more on coaching clients, and then I'll incorporate those things. Yeah, I'll incorporate those things into my coaching sessions, but that room is really primarily for me to coach in.
Beautiful. And make that strong personal connection with them. And these are the things that, no, I don't let my lead generation do this. Like when it comes to really getting close to a person and where they're working with you, and speak to them however you can speak to them and invite them to come into the elements that you're doing, so you feed them in, and through what they know that of you so well, that will be so much easier. So I'm glad that I can see the eyes are lighting up, and there's a lot of, you know, like ideas.
And it's like, okay, how can I get out of the contract for this room? And I'm like, well, no, because I actually wanted to coach clients in this room too, because now I have a space and it's beautiful. It's very calm, and so it's a great space besides my home, because I have my dog here and different things. But it's more of a proper place, and to have that focus on coaching, rather than I got to get clients for Thai massage and I got to get clients for yoga. And so now, like you're saying, like my focus is on, you know, and then and I have a different place for bigger yoga classes. And it's like, how about I just rent that out when I do have a big group for something, instead of just an ongoing weekly yoga class, because it's just taking a lot of my time to market it and promote it.
Oh my gosh. And that's the big one. I mean, I have a place here in Perth that hires me, and that means I don't do the marketing, they do. I might mention it to people, but it's kind of really low key. And then I did one a couple of weeks ago, and those people were so gobsmacked, they ended up hiring me personally. So there is ways that can come about. But if I was having to market that myself, whole as bowlers, I would be confused. I would be overwhelmed. I would not be able to, it wouldn't work. Not for me, especially the way that my brain goes. But I think the one thing is always, and they teach it in books, they teach it, you know, be a master of one thing, you know, rather than trying to be a jack of all trades. So just to summarize now, just to wind it up, I better, because I've got to get going. The monthly review, so it's really important to look back. So this is a problem a lot of people forget to do, because it seems like it's not that important, but to zoom out and integrate everything you've done. What worked? What didn't work? What did I do? So you know, this is the beauty of having someone that you're accountable with, or even a part of your team where you can go through everything and go, right, like, you know, if this worked when I paid you last month to say one of my VAs, what are you going to do next month? You're going to have to do the same thing. And I sure as heck hope you documented it. You know what I mean? And that's a big ask for me on a VA. They always learn a lot from me, but I can tell you right now that if you can adopt that and know that the integration process and expectation of your VAs, and even letting them know that you do want them to take notice of what's working, especially with lead generation. And because like Cara said to me this morning, oh, Terry, you know, do you mind if I shorten that message? Because I found that the last time we did this, people clicked on it when it was shorter. I went, yeah, whatever works. You know, I know the content of my message, do what works. So that's kind of monthly reviews. So really, to summarize this, I would say your first thing is to perhaps look at the bigger vision and look at getting 25 high ticket clients. That's where I want you to start. Now, that 25 may turn into mid ticket, low ticket. Who cares? At least you're doing something. But you're aiming for that with a target, and then and this is crafted from not a business plan for everyone. I do need to state this. This is purely a business plan for Joyce Ayers. And this is completely based on your blueprint and what we've done together today.
Yep. Oh, actually, for the signature program, I didn't capture how many people I'm to get.
I want you to aim for 25, and I want you to focus on your signature, because what I want you to think about is, even though you know,
so the high ticket is the signature?
I'm sorry?
The high ticket clients is my signature program?
Yeah. Now, even
okay.
though you did say that you're going to be accepting low ticket and you think that's where the revenue is going to come, I want you to know that that's the worst case scenario, and that may be a realistic thing, and that's okay. That's fine, because at least you're serving people, and those low tickets may turn into high tickets very quickly anyway. Does that make sense? But if you keep your focus on 25 clients that you want to bring in per year, not months.
Yeah.
Okay. So 25 per year, and keep that as your first element. We're going to work on that. And next month when we meet again, we're going to start going to work on, because I'm kind of hoping you can get over the other side. I don't want you to be too caught up in too many things. I'd rather you go, right, I've got that out the way, I've got that out the way. Okay, let's go.